Oluebube and Chikaka were like two sides of the same coin. They had met in the university during their first year, and from that day they became inseparable. They ate together, studied together, even shared their last kobo together. People around them often said, "These girls are not just friends, they are sisters from different mothers." But one thing always stood out: their looks. Oluebube, whom people called Oluebe for short, was not blessed with beauty. Her nose was wide, her lips too thick, and her body was not shaped like the kind of women men admired. Whenever she walked on the road, some men would whisper and laugh behind her back. But God balanced it for her. What Oluebe lacked in beauty, she had in brains and courage. In school, she was always top of her class. While others struggled with assignments, she would finish hers and still help her friends. People respected her sharp mouth and quick thinking. After graduation, she went to law school, became a barrister, and opened her own law firm. Though she was ugly, she carried herself with confidence. Chikaka was the opposite. She was very beautiful. Her skin glowed like fresh palm oil. Her figure was curved in all the right places, and her smile alone could make a man forget his problems. She was the type of woman that turned heads when she walked past. Men sent her gifts, flowers, and money, even without asking. But beauty alone was not her only blessing. She studied medicine and became a doctor in a federal medical center. With her white coat, stethoscope, and long shining hair, patients admired her as if she was an angel in human form. Even though Oluebe was ugly, she once had a man who loved her, a police officer. They dated for 1 year, but suddenly the relationship ended. Some said the officer's family rejected her because of her looks. Others whispered that he found another woman. Whatever the case, the breakup pained her so much that she made a strong promise to herself. "The next man I will love must marry me quickly. 3 months is enough. If not, I will remain single forever." Chikaka, on the other hand, had a sweet relationship. She had been dating a banker for 5 years. Everyone was already expecting wedding bells. Each time she and her boyfriend came out together, people admired them and said they were a perfect match. Even though they were different in looks and love stories, their friendship remained strong. They told each other everything: their secrets, their pains, and their joys. One Friday afternoon, after a long week of stress, the two best friends decided to hang out. "Bestie," Chikaka had said on phone, "when you close from your office today, come to the hospital. From there, we'll go out and catch some fun." "No wala," Oluebe replied. "I need small enjoyment." By 4 p.m., Oluebe locked her office and drove straight to Chikaka's hospital. She waited for her at the reception, reading some documents. When she finished attending to her last patient, she came out smiling. "Bestie, sorry to keep you waiting. Let's go." They walked side by side, laughing and talking as they headed towards the exit. But just as they were about to step out, something unexpected happened. A tall, young, and very handsome man came rushing down the corridor. He carried a brown hospital file in his hand. In his hurry, he mistakenly brushed Oluebe, and the file slipped from his hand, scattering on the floor. Quickly, Oluebe bent down to pick it up. At the same moment, the young man bent down too. Their hands landed on the same file. For a second, their fingers touched. Oluebe quickly removed her hand, shy, and allowed him to pick it up. "Sorry," he said gently, his voice deep. "Sorry too," Oluebe replied without looking directly at his face. When they both stood up, their eyes met for the first time. The man smiled warmly, showing fine white teeth. "My name is Dr. Emme, senior consultant here in this hospital." Oluebe adjusted her bag and gave a small smile. "I am Barrister Oluwebube. Nice to meet you." Before the air could grow thick, Chikaka quickly cleared her throat and stepped forward. Her voice carried pride. "Dr. Emme, let me introduce her properly. This is my best friend, my sister from university days, Oluwebube." Dr. Emme nodded politely, his eyes still fixed on Oluwebe. "It's a pleasure," he said. That short encounter might have looked ordinary, but it was the beginning of a story that would shake the very foundation of their friendship. That evening, after the unexpected encounter with Dr. Emme, the two besties still went for their planned hangout. They found a small but classy restaurant in town and sat together, eating pepper soup and fried fish, while soft music played in the background. But Olube's mind was far away. She kept replaying that moment at the hospital, how her hand had touched Dr. Emme's hand, how he smiled, and the way his voice sounded. She didn't want to show it, but something inside her chest was beating faster than usual. Chikaka noticed it. "Bestie," she said, sipping her drink, "why not look quiet since? Is it that small accident at the hospital? A bag, don't let it bother you." Olube laughed quickly, pretending, "No, I'm fine. I'm just thinking about office work." But in her heart, she knew that was a lie. The next week, while Oluwebe was in her law firm, her phone rang. The number was strange. She picked up. "Hello, Barrister Olubube?" a calm voice said. "Yes, who is speaking?" "This is Dr. Emme from the other day." Olube froze for a moment. So he even collected her number? She later remembered that Chikaka must have given it to him. "Oh, doctor, good afternoon," she said, trying to sound normal. "I just wanted to check on you. Hope you are doing well." "I'm fine, thank you." That short call did not end there. By the following day, another call came. This time they talked longer. They laughed, they joked, and Olube realized that this man was not only handsome, he was intelligent and kind. Soon calls turned to messages, and messages turned to late-night chats. As usual, Olube could not hide anything from her best friend. One evening, as they sat together in Chikaka's living room, she smiled shyly and said, "Bestie, let me tell you something. That Dr. Emme has been calling me, oh. He's really nice." Chikaka, who was painting her nails, lifted her head slowly. "Really? He's calling you?" she asked. "Yes, he even asked me out for lunch. He bought me a wristwatch last week. Bestie, I think he likes me seriously." Chikaka forced a smile. "That's good. I'm happy for you." But in her heart, fire started burning. So this man that I secretly admire, the same man that I have been having a crush on since he was posted to this hospital, is now chasing my ugly best friend. She looked at Olube again, this time with a different eye. What does she even have that I don't? I'm beautiful. I'm a doctor like him. I have everything. So why her? That night, when Olube went home, Chikaka stayed awake, rolling on her bed. She remembered all the times she admired Dr. Emme from afar, how she wished he would notice her. Tears dropped from her eyes. "Am I not beautiful enough?" she whispered to herself. "Why is it her, of all people?" Time passed quickly. True to her vow, Olube was serious about marriage. After only 3 months of dating, Dr. Emme proposed to her. He knelt down in a restaurant holding out a shining ring. "Olube, will you marry me?" Tears filled her eyes as she shouted, "Yes!" When she ran to Chikaka with the news, Chikaka hugged her tightly. "Congratulations, bestie! I'm so happy for you." But behind that hug, her heart was bitter. That night, she locked herself inside her room and cried again.
She whispered angrily, "So it is true? This girl will marry before me? With the man I wanted? God, why?" Despite her bitterness, Chikaka played her role well. She laughed, she danced, she even agreed to be the chief bridesmaid at Oluweb's wedding. To everyone around, she looked like the happiest friend alive. But deep down, she was boiling with jealousy. On the wedding day, she wore her bridesmaid gown and stood by Oluweb's side, smiling for the cameras. She held the bride's hand, adjusted her veil, and cheered as the pastor blessed the union. At the reception, she danced and pretended to be filled with joy. But each time she looked at Dr. Eme, her heart cut like a knife. "This should have been me," she kept saying inside her heart. "This ugly girl has taken what belongs to me." After the wedding, Oluweb settled into her new home, balancing her career at the law firm with her new role as a wife. Most times she was busy in court, handling cases. Chikaka saw her chance. She began visiting Dr. Eme's office regularly, with food, claiming, "Bestie asked me to check on you," or "I just thought you would like this soup." At first, Dr. Eme rejected it politely. "Thank you, doctor, but my wife already cooked." But Chikaka did not stop. Each time she came, she dressed more attractively, her makeup shining, her perfume filling his office. She would bend unnecessarily, laugh too loudly, and sometimes shake her waist as if music was playing. One afternoon, when the hospital was quiet, she entered his office wearing a tight gown. She closed the door gently, put her bag on the table, and began dancing slowly, twisting her waist. "Doctor, can I entertain you?" she asked, smiling seductively. "Dr. Chikaka, what is this? Please stop it. You're my wife's best friend." But Chikaka only moved closer. Her eyes locked on him. "This is what I've always wanted. Can't you see I'm better for you than her?" That day, Dr. Eme resisted, but the seed of temptation had already been planted in his heart. After that day in Dr. Ime's office, nothing was the same. Dr. Ime tried to focus on his work, but Chikaka's words kept echoing in his head. "Can't you see I'm better for you than her?" At first, he pushed the thought aside. "No, I'm a married man," he told himself. But as days went by, Chikaka didn't stop. Every little chance she got, she visited him at work. Sometimes she got food. Other times, she came with gifts. She would smile too much, laugh too loud, and touch his arm innocently while talking. At night, when Alobebe was busy preparing her legal cases, Dr. Ime found himself remembering Chikaka's perfume, the way she bent down, the way her gown hugged her body. Slowly, a dangerous battle began inside him. One Saturday, Olubebe had a big case in court and told Dr. Ume she would be busy the whole day. "Bestie will be around, though," she said cheerfully. "She promised to come and check on you." Dr. Ume's heart skipped. Why her? By afternoon, Chikaka arrived at his house, carrying a food flask. She was dressed in a short red gown that showed her smooth legs. "Doctor," she said with a smile, "I cooked this specially for you." Dr. Ime hesitated, but hunger won. As he ate, she sat close, watching him. When he finished, she collected the plate and whispered, "Do you know how long I've waited for this chance? Oluwabi doesn't deserve you. I'm the one who truly loves you." Before he could reply, she leaned forward and kissed him. At first, Dr. Ime pulled back. "No, this is wrong. You're her best friend." But Chikaka held his face firmly. "Just once, nobody will know," she said softly. That once was the beginning of everything. Days turned into weeks. What started as a single kiss became secret meetings. When Olubebe thought her husband was on call at the hospital, he was with Chikaka in her apartment. When Olubebe believed her best friend was busy with patients, she was with Dr. Ime. The betrayal grew deeper, and Chikaka became bolder. One evening, Olubebe happily told Chikaka, "Bestie, marriage is sweet-o! My husband is so caring. I'm so lucky." Chikaka forced a smile, but in her heart, she laughed wickedly. If only you knew where your husband was last night. But secrets never stay hidden forever. One day, while cleaning the wardrobe, Olubebe found a receipt for a gold necklace she never received. The buyer's name was Dr. Ime. Confused, she asked him casually that night, "Honey, did you buy any necklace recently?" Dr. Ime stammered, "No, maybe it's a mistake." But something in her heart whispered, "He is hiding something." Meanwhile, Chikaka was already dreaming bigger. She told herself, "This marriage cannot last. I will scatter it. One day, Ime will leave her and choose me." And so she began her plan, slowly planting seeds of doubt in Olubebe's mind. Sometimes she would say, "Bestie, men are men, oh. Don't trust them too much." Other times, she would smile innocently and ask, "Has Ime been acting strange lately? Maybe work is stressing him." Each word was like poison, entering Olubebe's heart, little by little. But one night, everything almost scattered. Olubebe forgot her file at home and rushed back unexpectedly. When she entered the sitting room, she froze. There was Dr. Ime sitting too close to Chikaka on the sofa. The way they both jumped apart was suspicious. "Bestie," she said, forcing a smile. "You're here? I thought you went home." Chikaka quickly lied. "Yes, I just stopped by to greet. I was about to leave." But Olubebe's heart did not settle. Something was wrong, very wrong.
Oluwabe could not sleep that night. The picture of her husband and her best friend sitting too close kept replaying in her head. The way they jumped when she entered was not ordinary. She told herself, "Maybe I'm just imagining things. Maybe I'm overthinking," but her heart refused to rest. The next morning, she tried to act normal. She prepared breakfast, smiled at her husband, and even called Chikaka to chat. But her eyes were open. She started watching them more carefully. One afternoon, Oluebe visited the hospital unexpectedly with lunch for her husband. As she entered his office, she froze again. There was Chikaka, laughing loudly with Dr. Eme, her hand resting on his arm. The moment they saw Oluebe, the laughter died. "Bestie, what a surprise," Chikaka said quickly, standing up. Oluebe forced a smile, but her chest was heavy. She looked at her husband. His eyes refused to meet hers. That day, when she got home, she cried. "Why, God, why does it feel like my best friend is stealing my happiness?" Suspicion turned into proof 2 weeks later. Oluebe was in her husband's car searching for her missing charger. In the glove compartment, she found a small gift bag. Inside was a necklace with a love note attached. It wasn't signed, but the handwriting was familiar. She recognized it immediately. It was Chikaka's. Her hands shook as she read the note. "To the man who makes my heart beat, from the woman who loves you more than she should." Oluebe dropped the note like it was fire. Her world shattered. That evening, she called Chikaka to her house. "Bestie," she said softly, "are you hiding something from me?" Chikaka blinked.
What do you mean? Oluwebe pulled out the note and placed it on the table. Explain this. For a moment, silence filled the room. Then Chikaka forced a laugh. Oh, it's nothing serious, just a joke. A joke? Oluwebe's voice broke. Sleeping with my husband is a joke? Betraying me after everything we shared is a joke? Chikaka's face hardened. She dropped the pretense. Yes, I love him, and guess what? He loves me too, more than you. The words cut Oluwebe's heart into pieces. She felt like the ground had opened beneath her feet. From that day, nothing was the same. Oluwebe stopped trusting her husband. Every time he said he was going to the hospital, she wondered if he was going to Chikaka instead. Every time her phone rang, she feared it was another secret message. Dr. Eme tried to explain. It was a mistake, just temptation, he begged. But the damage was already done. Oluwebe felt broken, not just by her husband, but by the one person she trusted most in the world, her best friend. The fall of Chikaka. But life has a way of punishing betrayal. Soon, people began to notice Chikaka's suspicious closeness to Dr. Eme. Rumors spread in the hospital. Patients whispered, nurses pointed fingers, and her reputation started to fall. One day, the management transferred her out of the hospital, claiming professional misconduct. Her bright future dimmed overnight. Dr. Eme, too, began to regret. What he thought was pleasure soon turned to poison. His wife's coldness, the loss of trust, and the shame of betrayal weighed heavily on him. Chikaka thought she had won, but in the end, she lost both her friend and her dignity. One evening, after months of pain, Oluwebe sat alone writing in her diary. Tears fell on the page as she wrote, "I have learned that beauty without loyalty is useless. I have learned that the worst enemy can wear the face of a friend. I have learned that no marriage can survive lies and betrayal. And above all, I have learned that God fights for the innocent in His own time." Moral lesson. True friendship is built on loyalty, not beauty or envy. Jealousy can destroy even the closest bonds. Betrayal always carries consequences. What is stolen in secret will be exposed in the open. Guard your home, your marriage, and your heart, for not everyone who smiles with you is truly for you. The end.